scrumptious.
Katie and Lily, the creative crew, they are best friends and cousins too. Color pencils, paper and glue. It's crafty fun time, creating with you. Sunshine, fun time, bright lights, creative vibe. Sunshine, fun time, bright lights, creative vibe.
Hello crafty crafters, welcome back to Crafty Fun with Katie and
Lily!
it's that time of year again, autumn,
And today we are going to be doing a craft.
and we're expecting a special guest. Oh no, I just got a call. She's stuck in traffic.
Oh no! Well, that's no problem. We can just use our magic.
Alright, 3, 2, 1.
One.
Yay! This is Miss Denise, and she's an expert with candle making.
What supplies are we using?
Today we're going to make a pumpkin spice latte candle. So first things first, we're going to need to get our mug. We're going to need Wick stickers. I always put warning labels at the bottoms of my candles. We need the wax, the fragrance, and the coloring. And a couple of other things that we're going to create along the way, like the mold for the cinnamon stick and the pouring pot so that we can mix our waxes and mix the colors and the fragrances into it. So in order to make the mold, we have this mold making kit, and it's a 2-part kit. We mix part A with part B, equal amounts, and then we pour it into this container. But before we do that, we put an actual cinnamon stick in the container, and then we let that set for about 6 hours. And usually you use cinnamon to make an actual pumpkin spice latte. So we are going to make a fake wax cinnamon stick to put in the candle to make it look as lifelike as possible. So the first thing we're going to do, this is a little container that we're going to put the cinnamon stick in and pour the mold after we mix it into. In order to take the mold out when we're done, I use the clear acrylic sealer to just spray in the container at first. Give it a little coat. Okay, so to mix the mold, we're going to do a 1-to-1 ratio with the kit. So we're gonna do 60 milliliters of part A, and then we're gonna do another 60 milliliters of part B. The cups that come in the kit only go to 30 milliliters, so you put this in there twice, and then you mix it equal parts for 3 minutes. We're gonna put the cinnamon stick in the container with the seam or the side with the detail facing upward. Okay, and then we're gonna take the mold mix and pour it over the top. So we're gonna let the mold sit for about 6 hours. I'm following the instructions on the mold kit, and overnight, by tomorrow, we should be ready to use the mold. For the next step, to make the embeds, you would need the mold. You need a toothpick, that's just for the coloring so that we don't make it too dark. These are some candle colors, liquid candle coloring. This is fragrance oil in Turkish mocha, a little bit of rubbing alcohol, 99% alcohol, and a pitcher. Also, we need our temperature gauge and the scale. And since we're using smaller measurements right now, I'm going to use the pipette to measure the fragrance oil. Okay, so if you're at home melting wax, a good option would be to use a double boiler method. I got my double boiler from Amazon a while ago. You could put the wax in the top part right here, fill it up with a little bit of water, you put it on the top of your stove, and then you melt it down. You definitely also will need a temperature gauge just to make sure you don't go over 200 degrees. What I use when I do my candles are these pots. I think they're Presto pots. and I have one for embed wax, which is a harder wax that you use to make wax melts. And then I have one for container waxes that we use to just make regular candles in candle containers. This is the unscented embed wax. We're gonna pour some in here, then we're gonna take it and pour it in our pouring pot and weigh it. See that? All right. Let me smell it.
Does it smell like anything?
It smells like burnt plastic.
Burnt plastic. So we're gonna weigh out 20 grams of wax. As you can see, the scale is tiered to 0 right now with the pouring pot on it. So guys, let me know when it gets to 20, okay? There we go.
That's perfect.
That's perfect.
Now for our scents.
Now we're gonna measure out the fragrance because it's only a little bit of fragrance. I'm gonna use a gram pipette, and it measures all the way from a quarter, a half, 3/4, and then 1. So we go up to that line and then we stop.
Okay, I got 1 gram.
Okay. Okay.
Smells
Okay.
good.
I have this super infrared thermometer. Got it on Amazon, and this is what I basically use to check the temperature of the wax. So right now this wax is 96.4. When you heat your wax up to 200, you check the temperature. I usually try to pour around 170, and then we have to wait for it to get to room temperature. So right now room temperature is about 76 degrees in here. So we have the fragrance and we have the wax, and we're gonna put a little bit of color. Because it's just a little bit of color. Right here.
I can't see.
You can't see? Okay, I'm coming. See that? Can you see it, Lily? Okay, so, and that should give you a nice pretty brown color.
Now to pour it inside the mold.
Yep. Now that we have the color mixed in there,
Open this.
you're gonna pour it? No, just pour it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, there we go. And we let that get to room temperature and solidify. Since it's only a little bit of wax that we're working with, the temperature drops quickly. If you need to, once you have one of these metal containers, something that's not gonna burn or melt, you could put it back on the stove and heat the temperature back up. But remember to stay under 200 degrees or whatever the temperature rating is for your fragrance oil, because it is flammable.
This is what it looks like now.
And our mold is 101 degrees, so we have to wait a little bit longer for it to fully cool down.
Can you do my hand?
Let's see what your hand is 94.8 degrees.
Hey, is that a lot?
That's regular.
Oh.
Yeah.
You want to do yours, Lily?
All right, you ready? You are 89.1 degrees Fahrenheit. And always remember, do not shine this into your eyes. Definitely dangerous. So let's get our containers ready. We're gonna use this little mug. I got this from Dollar Tree. We're gonna put a warning label on the bottom that explains how to burn your candle safely. All right, then we can flip it over. We have our wick, and we have our wick sticker. Okay, and then you could take that little piece off and try to get that centered in the middle. Okay, yep, push it down so it sticks really good. And we're almost ready. So these are 2 different types of wick stabilizers. Usually this is what I use to make candles, to center the wick and to hold them in place. This one has an option where you could do 1 wick or you can double wick. And usually you could set it either way. And then your wick will be in there, comes through the hole if you do the center wick, or if you have 2 wicks, you would do like that. Or or you can do like this. The wick will go in there and you use these to center it usually. But these mugs are a bit wider in the mouth at the top, so these don't fit and these don't work. So the makeshift is to use pencils or pens or the sticks or just anything you can use to stabilize your wick so it could stay still while the candle sets up and solidifies.
Now we need to center our wick. Pick 2 sticks.
Yeah.
And put them parallel to the wick.
Yeah.
Now for extra good measure, perfect. I'm so excited for this craft. We're finally going to get into the good stuff.
Yeah.
I am going to fill this up to 200 grams. Let me get back to the right measurement. Okay, grams, 200. degrees. What we're gonna do is mix the fragrance in, and then we're gonna mix the coloring, and then we'll pour it into the cups.
We're gonna pour in the Turkish mocha scent until it reaches 20 ounces.
This way, where the spout is. There we go. Okay. And this is exactly what I was saying. When you pour the hot wax, it just goes to the side. So let's put these sticks back to straighten them back up. Okay. And we're gonna leave that until it gets nice and hard.
Okay.
Hi guys, so here is my cinnamon stick that Miss Denise helped me make, and also this is my chocolate mocha scented candle that Miss Denise helped me.
I'd give it a couple of hours, maybe 3-4 hours, I think, and then I usually check it after that.
How does your candle feel?
It feels smooth.
Is it hardened?
No. A little bit. But when you press into it, it can get damaged easily.
Just a little bit, because it was hot the whole time. Alright, this is my container wax. We're going to make the whipped topping. So we're pouring the wax. I'm going to mix fragrance in it because I want my whipped topping to smell good. But you don't have to if you don't want the color to potentially change over time.
How many grams is this?
I'm doing 300. The fragrance. This one is the Turkish mocha directly into the wax. So tear to 0, and I'm gonna put 30 grams. I clean my mixing. Well, this is a cake frosting knife, but I use it to mix my wax. I spray it with the 99% alcohol and I wipe it with a paper towel to get rid of color, fragrance, wax. Just clean it up before I use it for anything else. So we have to let the temperature drop till it kind of looks like a slushie. To speed it up, we can put it in the fridge.
Okay.
So basically what you want to do is, you're not going to mix it too much, but just the top of it, break off the shell a little bit, just because it will be easier when you use a blender. And yeah, that's what me and Lily are doing right now. It was so satisfying to do this part. And then when you're blending it, you want to make sure not to blend it too much, because it's wax and it does harden quickly. So you're just gonna blend it for about 3 minutes or less. It depends on how much you have, because if it's less, you're gonna do it for less time, and if it's more, you might want to do it for more time.
Start pushing this down. I got on my hands. Okay. Thank you. Okay, you ready?
So right here, I'm just piping it out. We would speed up on this part, but we would like to show you how it will look in real time. So right here, while I'm piping it, I just wanted to let you guys know to twist it at the top, because if you don't twist it and if you're not pushing down, then it will leak on the top and your hands will get really oily, and it's just not a fun experience. So just make sure it's twisted at the top and you're pushing down at the top. But you see how real that looks? I mean, I want to take a bite out of that. It's so fluffy and airy. And I did have to refill the bag because it wasn't enough. That just goes to show how much of the wax we actually used. Lily is doing a great job. Now we're putting our cinnamon sticks in. It looks so cute. Oh my gosh. It is almost done.
Now we're gonna put some toppings on. Okay, so just a regular grater, something you're not gonna use to cook again. With the excess wax that we didn't use for the embeds, which are the cinnamon stick embeds, you just pour them into a silicone mold like this one and let them set up. When it's done and it's hard enough, we end it off by just grating it over the top to give it a nice little finish. Do you want to use this one or this one? Lighter or darker? That one? Okay. So here you go. And you grate it on this side. Okay. Over. There we go. Is that enough topping or you want more?
That's enough.
That's enough? Awesome.
Okay, very nice.
Alright. And if you have any extra wax or you want to use one of these that you didn't grate, we can melt it down and we can do a quick drizzle on the top.
Yeah.
We're just reheating this to make the drizzle. It's basically what we use to grate on top. Let me check the temperature. Too hot, so let's let it cool to that. It's at 185 now. We're gonna let it cool to about 135 and then we'll pour. All right, go for it.
Nice.
So pretty.
Wow. Nice.
Can I do mine?
Yes, you may. Let her hold the wick up straight for you, and she'll tell you exactly where to cut it. Okay, Lily?
Right here?
Yes. Good job.
Scrumptious. Thank you, Miss Denise.
You're welcome.
Thanks for watching.